short. I spent the entire weekend on my back.
No.
Not for good reason. I wish. Those days are long gone. But this bug is just kicking my ass.
I'm with you.
And then in between, I think I mentioned to you guys that my dachshund, my female dachshund, so she's in diapers, and her bed is all covered with diapers, and every time she whimpers, I gotta pick her up and run her outside, pull the diaper off, and set her down and squeeze her to get her to go out. And of course, it's
More than we need.
freaking freezing outside. But it got me to thinking, and it was exactly in line with what Michael was saying. And Michael kind of stole my thunder, but there's one part that he missed. And that is when you're forgiving others. I had a lot of time to sit there laying in bed, think about this. But you have to ask for forgiveness from others. And there's an excellent book, I'm trying to remember who the author is, who says, if you can envision their face and you put it into the universe, please forgive me for what I have done wrong, they will receive that message and they will forgive you. You will come into their thoughts and they will forgive you. Because the whole intent is if we are to be here, we have one purpose and only one purpose. And that purpose is to love each other, really. And to love each other, we have to forgive each other. Now this morning, when this is all over and done with and we go into our exercise, part of it is to help you to forgive yourself, to overcome your greatest fear. I promise you, I will not embarrass you. I will not make you feel uncomfortable. But I am going to ask you to step a little bit out of your skin. So while you're sitting there looking at me like you're a freaking asshole, Peter, I want you to remember it's because I love you.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, really, truly. As Michael said, I want you to be a success. And to be successful, it is incumbent upon me to give you every single tool possible so that you are absolutely and totally and completely head and shoulders above everybody else. To do that, you have to have confidence. To have confidence, you have to forgive others. You have to ask others to forgive you so that you are clean of conscience and you believe in yourself and what you do and what you bring to the table. Because once you come in with that confidence, I am clean. I was asked on an interview one time, Peter, what makes you do what you do? And I said, I live by 3 rules. All things taken in consideration, melting it down, I live by 3 rules. First rule, I work hard at everything I do. And the reason being is I don't want to have to back up to the pay table. When I was a 2nd lieutenant, my first additional duty was the pay officer. 440 soldiers. And I had to go to the finance office and they're counting out the money, and I had to count out the money, and I had 2 armed guards with me as we're counting out the money, and I was absolutely petrified that I was going to end up with the 440th soldier short. And as I had my little field table here, my Army regulations, the first sergeant could not be any closer than like 20 feet away. And so he set up his table 20 feet away and forced the soldiers to come from my table to his table to make a contribution to Army Emergency Relief, United Way, whatever it was. I had a private, and he had to stand up, salute, sir, private so-and-so, reporting for his pay. And as he's standing at attention, I had to validate who he was, and the first sergeant started yelling at him. How dare you face that officer? You did not earn your paycheck. You will do an about face. And the soldier had to do an about face and hold his hands out so that I could pay him. I was embarrassed, that soldier was embarrassed. Keep in mind, this is 1970-something, okay? It's the old Army. I work hard so I will never have to back up to the pay table. Second rule, I have a piss poor memory. So, if I always tell the truth, I will never have to remember a lie. Right? And if I am ethical and moral in my behavior and in my words, I will never have to worry about those words, I need to see you in my office. Right? So, work hard, be honest, don't lie, and be ethical and moral in your behavior. And I think you'll be successful. Hooah!